Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the Drive with Mario Smith. My name is Mario. Thank you for checking us out. Truly appreciate it if you're watching us on Backchannel.tv or on YouTube or listening to us through one of your Amazon selected devices. Hey, welcome to the third largest city in the United States, and we're about to do it today. Joining me from Portland, Oregon, where I think it's calmed down a little, is my man Jay Gliss. What's up, Gliss?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right. I'm being throttled.
Meaning?
Meaning I think my next door neighbor is turning the screws to make sure that my connection is bad.
Oh, well, that's
I
not
also
good.
need to point out I don't have on the same clothes I had on yesterday, in case anybody was wondering. How do I sound? Sound okay?
You sound fine, yeah.
Really? I'm surprised because this is uncomfortable as hell. But I am really having a moment, man. You should. Oh boy, the show you don't hear, Gliss. I've said words I haven't said in a long time. I didn't know I could string that many words together.
You'll have to give me a recap later.
I got you. Welcome to everybody that's checking out the show here on Backchannel.tv. That's Jake Gliss down there in the. Well, he just left me. That's Jake Gliss. There he is. He's back again. He is the producer of this fine program. We have a lot to talk about today. Academy Award nominations, all kinds of crazy stuff. We appreciate you being a passenger here on the drive. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And we welcome everybody that's checked out my pal Hal, your pal Hal. He's my pal Hal. Back up. Leave my pal Hal alone. Don't mess with Hal. I swear to God. Thank you all for watching that. We really appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see who's with us today really quickly before we get going. Amanda and Deborah, our regular folks are here. Steven's just joined the stream. This is your first time. Welcome aboard, sir. Verona, Sunny in Indiana. Hi. That's the person. Hi. Bella, Milo, Jack, Nathan and sometimes C, Jennifer Lopez and Cole and Matthew and Steven in Minnesota. That's where you are, my man. What part of Minnesota are you from, Steven? I'm curious. I know a very small town, very close to Canada, where a friend of mine used to live. But I want you to tell me where you're from first before I go divulging all this cool information that I have. And everybody, feel free to get into the chat. On your Amazon supported devices, you could start with say, and then say what you want to say. Say, I'd like to be on the chat with Mario, or say, take me to the drive with Mario, or say, put me in the chat on the drive. Whatever, we got you on that. Like I said, lots of news. There is a breaking news story that happened about maybe 30 minutes ago involving the second gentleman of the United States. Let's get to it. Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman, was rushed out of a D.C. high school. He's safe. He was rushed out of an event at Dunbar High in Northwest Washington, D.C. today over a bomb threat. Again, he is safe, as are others who were on the scene, according to D.C. police and Emhoff's office. The Secret Service whisked Emhoff out of the building at 2:18 p.m. Emhoff's staff told reporters attending the event that the school had reported a threat to U.S. Secret Service. An announcement came over the intercom at 2:34 p.m. asking teachers to evacuate the school, and reporters left as well. The second gentleman's office confirmed he was rushed from the building over the threat. D.C. police responded and were at the scene immediately. Again, he is fine, and that has got to be scary. But if you're a high school student and you're at Dunbar today, you got out of school early on a horrible pretense, and I'm sure that message wasn't alarming at all. How could it have been, right? The Justice Department today announced that $3.6 billion in crypto was seized. 2 arrests were made. The largest ever financial seizure, more than $3.5 billion, and the arrest of a New York couple accused of comprising to launder billions of dollars in cryptocurrency stolen from the 2016 hack of a virtual currency exchange. We got to talk about currency exchanges because they don't mean the same for you as they do for me, I think. And I forgive my Midwest naivety, but I only thought currency exchanges were in Chicago. And that's not the kind of currency exchange you think I'm talking about either. Federal law enforcement officials said they recovered roughly $3.6 billion in cryptocurrency linked to the hack of Bitfinex, a virtual currency exchange whose systems were breached nearly 6 years ago. Ilya Dutch Lichtenstein, a citizen of Russia and the United States, and his wife, Heather Morgan, were arrested in Manhattan on Tuesday morning, accused of relying on various sophisticated techniques to launder the stolen money and conceal the transaction. They face federal charges of conspiracy to commit money laundering and conspiracy to defraud the United States. It was unclear if they had lawyers or people who could speak on their behalf. Those are the headlines. Again, if you're just joining the show, it's only 6 minutes old. Why are you late? Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman, is safe. He was rushed out of an event at Dunbar High School in Northwest Washington, D.C. today over a bomb threat. Leslie, we see you. Thank you. Don't forget to jump into the chat at backchannel.tv or on youtube.tv, wherever you're checking the show out. We really appreciate it. Again, I don't have on the same clothes as yesterday. I do have a hat. I have a choice. Hold on a second. Hey, Gliss, help me out. So, Gliss, do I later, not now, but later, do I rock my White Sox hat?
It's pretty classic.
It's not bad, right? This is with the World Series. Like that. And then, or do I completely go?
Is that a Kangol?
I don't want to scare off our people.
That's a tough choice.
I can definitely do it. I may have to take the headphones off and read your lips, but I can do it with the bucket.
I mean, that one's pretty good looking. The Tay says the Sox hat, not the Kangol.
Is that right? Did he say that? That's my.
I will say I like the fact that the White Sox hat, it kind of matches the color scheme of your shirt.
You know why? Because this shirt is a White Sox shirt.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
So I mean, that's a pretty clean look if you got those two going on.
Yeah, well, that's about all I have going on today, Gliss. It's pretty mad. But you know what it is, man? We keep doing it, and I'm just not going to stop. I'm here. Even though I am having a hard time. Let me know if your text is jumping off too, by the way. All right, everybody. When we come back, we'll go around the world. We'll get started officially with the show. We thank everybody for checking us out. If you're joining us again on the chat, please jump in the chat with us at backchannel.tv or on YouTube, wherever you're at. It's The Drive with Mario Smith, live from Chicago, Illinois. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody, to The Drive with Mario Smith. Did you see how I did that? It looked real authoritative, like I was looking down at something important, and I looked back up at you really slow, like I was really, and my Brian Williams for a moment. Did you peep that, Gliss?
I did. You got it. Next time you got to like put a pen down or something like that.
You know what? I happen to have in my desk. I have a pen. All right, so let me try it again. So as it's coming back off the break, I gotta be authentic. Hello, everyone. Yeah, man. Beautiful day in Chicago today. The sun is so nice. It's about 37, 38 degrees today, above zero. People are out. You got to wear boots because the snow is melting. You find out that everybody in Chicago has a dog. It is great. It is everything you want in wintertime. Can't you see it on my face how happy I am?
That's good. Sunshine this time of year, you got to take those sunny days. It's nice and sunny here too. We've been dry this week, so.
It has not been this bright and sunny consistently all day in a long time, man. It is nice. I'm also scared to turn my light on. Turn it on. Hold on, gang. Sorry.
Right now, it's nice enough outside. You can see the light coming in, and is it working now?
It's working.
Oh.
Here's what happened. Because we were doing such a great job the last two shows, I never charged it up again. I just was like, this light is automatic because apparently it is powered by the sun. It is not. But now I have the light. Okay, everybody cool? We ready? This is one today. And we have a Florida man story, Gliss.
Mm-hmm.
America's favorite superhero, Florida man, back at it again. But before we do all of that, let's just run over our list of people one more time. Andrea in Florida. Leslie's in Pennsylvania. Hey, Leslie. Matthew in Michigan. I have a great question for everybody today in the chat. Just give me a minute. This is a good one. I thought about it this morning in between trying to wake up and trying to go back to sleep desperately because I don't sleep. But I got you guys. Thank you for being a passenger on the drive today. Tell your people, go now. Go tell them and then come back. But don't go. Like, text them. Let them know what's up. So the first one we're jumping out of the box with today is about Donald Trump. Big surprise. 15 boxes of White House records were recovered at Mar-a-Lago. I'm just trying to figure out why is he taking stuff with him. You're done. He still thinks he's the president, yo. The National Archives and Records Administration, they call themselves NARA, said it has retrieved 15 boxes of White House records and other items that were stored at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago property instead of at the National Archives. As first reported by the Washington Post, shout out to the Post, the documents retrieved last month from the Florida property contained important records of communication along with Trump's self-described love letters with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, as well as a letter addressed to Trump from his predecessor, President Barack Obama. According to the newspaper, keeping the boxes of records in Mar-a-Lago violated the Presidential Records Act, which requires that the government keep all forms of documents and communications related to a president's or vice president's official duties. As required by the act, the records discovered in Mar-a-Lago should have been transferred to NARA from the White House at the end of the Trump administration in 2021. The Presidential Records Act mandates that all presidential records must be properly preserved by each administration so that a complete set of presidential records is transferred to the National Archives at the end of the administration, said David Ferriero. I think people watch just to watch me screw up people's names. It's not on purpose. Archivist of the United States. I'm sure he is a very important person and his family loves him desperately. I just can't say your last name. In a statement released by the National Archives Public and Media Communications, the agency said that it arranged for the transport of 15 boxes containing the presidential records from Trump's Florida property last month, following discussions with President Trump's representatives in 2021. Representatives for Trump informed NARA they are continuing, quote, to search for additional presidential records that belong to the National Archives, according to the National Archives. Trump advisors told the Post that they deny any nefarious intent and said the 15 boxes contained mementos, gifts, letters from world leaders, and other correspondence. News of the boxes discovered at Trump's Florida residence comes a week after the archives turned over damaged White House documents from his administration to the White House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 insurrection on the U.S. Capitol. Hundreds of pages of documents were either taped back together or arrived at the archives still in pieces. For those of you that don't know, one of Donald Trump's one of Donald Trump's he did it again. One of Donald Trump's things that he likes to do is tear up documents, so nobody will ever see them again. And he decided to take 15 boxes of documents to Mar-a-Lago, where he lives, and he does this thing every night where he pretends that he's the president and he gives a press conference. And I'm not making it up. He gives a press conference every evening so that folks can get the presidential address from a guy that is never going to be president again. Even my equipment is angry about that. It just keeps going and going and going with that guy. But you know, his administration, or former administration, is not the only one that has seen its form of scandal. Are you guys familiar with Eric Lander? He was the science guy for Joe Biden. Monday night, science advisor Eric Lander resigned, which means that the administration is losing its highest ranking climate science official. Lander has turned the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, known as OSTP, into a new power center within the government for climate and energy research and policy. It's responsible for overseeing the U.S. Global Change Research Program, which coordinates climate research at 13 federal agencies and produces the National Climate Assessment, which examines the effect of climate change on the U.S. and comes out every 4 years. Lander, a prominent geneticist and molecular biologist, resigned after an investigation found that he violated the Biden administration's workplace policy, the White House confirmed. The question now facing OSTP and the Biden administration more broadly is whether its ambitious science agenda will be delayed or knocked off course by Lander's behavior and any disruption associated with his departure. Biden is the first president to give the director of OSTP cabinet ranking, elevating its visibility and authority to the top tier of the federal government. Although Lander was working on many issues, climate and energy were in his mandate from Biden since the outset. Apparently he was bullying people, and that's why he was removed. Hey, Gliss, do you remember at any time in your life that the science guy in your school was the bully? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I can't think of a time. No.
Me neither. I can't remember a time when the dude that did science was out here pushing people in the lockers, TPing somebody's house, other things that I can't say on this show. I don't remember that. So this guy was bullying like his staff around, and he was pretty good at it. He just was not a happy dude.
Yeah, that's no good.
No, I mean, bye to him.
You gotta treat people with respect.
A little.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Hey, come on, man. You're the science dude. You're the guy that everybody's trying to cheat off their homework on. Now all of a sudden you've rebelled. You're like, screw this cheating. I'm gonna.
Could
get
this be a
back.
cycle? Maybe he was bullied when he was younger, and now that he's in a position of power, he's trying to give it back to somebody.
I'll show you all. I remember when I was in science, and you guys made me feel so bad. But now I'm the head of science in the United States. I'm getting you all back. I'm going to start with these people who don't know me, and then I'm going to go find you guys. That's really weak. It's kind of weak, man. Science dude. That would be like Bill Nye, the science guy, just running. Although Bill Nye does kind of get in people's face now, as he has gotten more seasoned in his life. But that's just really ridiculous. The science dude is out here tripping people, stealing their Jell-O at lunch.
Come on now. Bill Nye, now that's a cool scientist.
He's the man. Bill
like
Nye,
you said, he doesn't take it from anybody.
No, he is out here on a mission to stop it all. He's a very angry science. Is it something about science not as guy? Of course it is. Everybody that's a scientist is pissed off because they've been getting, you know what, on.
Probably, yeah. Between COVID, climate change,
Yeah.
I can understand why they maybe are feeling a little fed up.
They're out here rogue.
Their life's work constantly being
challenged by people who have
Yeah.
no idea how science works.
No.
Like, no idea at all. They're like, we're through with doing this. You know what? We're forming a coalition of scientists. This is out here stealing on people, open hand slaps, kicking people in the chest, everything. Out here TPing people's houses. I'm just thinking all the bully stuff that they do. Bunting in line, everything. Wearing masks where you're not supposed to. Challenging folks. Just out here rogue. Real quick, I hope to run into a science person and ask them. And I know a couple where I'd be like, yo, is it that rough out here, yo, that you gotta be stealing on people now? Are you a science bully? But I guess that would make people pay attention if you were a science bully.
Yeah.
It's hard to ignore science when somebody has got you in a headlock. Are they giving people wedgies and stuff? I don't know why this finds. I should have moved on to the next story 10 minutes ago, but that is so funny. Science has gone mad. He's out here. Okay. On a more serious note, Amir Locke. We talked about Amir Locke the last couple of days on the show. And supporters of Amir Locke have been protesting in Minneapolis. A coalition of mostly black mothers gathered on Monday at City Hall in Minneapolis, where they called for the firing of the police officer who fatally shot Amir Locke, as well as for the firing or resignation of the interim police chief. Locke, 22, was fatally shot by Minneapolis police Wednesday as officers served a no-knock warrant at an apartment shortly before 7 a.m. Nikema Levy Armstrong, a civil rights attorney and activist who confronted Mayor Jacob Fry and interim Minneapolis police chief Amelia Huffman at a news conference last week, listed the group's demands. Quote, I'm honored to stand in solidarity with the family of Amir Locke, but the reality is that we should not have to be here, said Armstrong, who was surrounded by women holding signs with Locke's photo and the words, Justice for Amir Locke. How many more black lives have to be lost and needlessly taken by those who are supposed to protect and serve? And in a related story, the White House is now considering what the no-knock warrant means and considering limits on, or expanding rather, limits on the no-knock warrant. The Biden administration is considering expanding a policy that limits the use of no-knock warrants by certain federal agents. And for folks who don't know, a no-knock warrant, as its name applies, is an order from a judge that allows law enforcement officials with a search warrant to enter a home without announcing their presence first. It's an exemption to usual practice. In most cases, the law requires that officers must knock and announce themselves before entering a private home to execute a warrant. One of the greatest examples of a no-knock warrant is the murder of Black Panther Mark Clark, along with Fred Hampton Sr. Here in Chicago in the 60s, in the late 60s. That's not it. That's not it. Why is he talking? Why is that man talking? He should have been talking. The White House is trying to expand those limits on no-knock for certain crimes and certain events that require the police to enter a room without announcing themselves. Part of that problem is making sure that the names on the warrants are correct, like they weren't for Amir Locke, because his name wasn't on the warrant, and they busted in the house anyway and shot him and killed him. That story is not going away. How many of you folks out there own a Peloton? Do you? Right on. Hey, Kobe. I can't repeat what you said about Donald Trump, but I hear you. How many of you folks out there own a Peloton? Show of hands. All right. Well, guess what? Peloton's not having a good time. The co-founder of Peloton is stepping down as chief executive after an extended streak of tumult at the interactive exercise bike and treadmill company. John Foley first pitched the idea for Peloton in 2011, hoping to disrupt the industry. He will give up the CEO position and become executive chair at Peloton Interactive Incorporated. The company is also cutting almost 3,000 jobs. How do you have 3,000 people working at Peloton? Are they making the bikes? That makes no sense to me. Help someone. 3,000 people working Peloton? Are they talking about the people who are telling you how to ride the bike?
That's what I was saying. Maybe the so I don't have a Peloton, but I have a similar version, a different company, but it's very similar to Peloton. And basically, you have a subscription, and I mean, there's lots of different trainers. There's lots of different kinds of rides you can do. So I mean, like, I can do a ride in, France or Hawaii or wherever. So I mean, well, virtually.
Okay.
I wish I was really there, but but I would assume that it's that they have to employ people that way, and then probably support and stuff like that, since it's mostly digital platform.
3,000 people. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
That's a lot of yelling at me to get on the bike and work out with you. That's a lot of screaming. But Barry McCarthy, who served as the CFO at Spotify, which we'll definitely be talking about a little bit later, as well as at Netflix, is going to take over as the CEO. Their stock went up 30% midday today on the moves, despite what day is it? Tuesday, right? Yes. Despite Peloton reducing its annual outlook for sales and subscriptions and reporting a big loss for its fiscal second quarter. I was just about to check on Peloton. What is their symbol there? PETON? Yeah. I don't own a Peloton. I wanted one, but then on Peloton, they started showing on these TV shows people dying after they get off a Peloton. That didn't help. During the pandemic, at the beginning of the pandemic, Peloton was the most popular thing going, I think, because it allowed people to work out still without having to go outside. Their shares, in fact, reflected that. They surged 400% in 2020. And I'm looking at it now, 400%. Now here's what Neil Sanders, managing director of Global Data Retail, had to say in a published note from earlier today. The problem for Peloton isn't that it has a bad product, nor is it that there is no demand for what it sells. The central problem is one of hubris and bad judgment. Peloton incorrectly assumed that the demand created by the pandemic would continue to curve upward. Their stock, by the way, is up $7 today at $37.27 as the markets are about to close. It's kind of ambitious to think that Peloton would remain popular once people were able to go outside and actually go to gyms and stuff again. That's amazing. Not amazing, interesting. Because amazing, I got to reserve my amazing for other things. Mario's in Texas. Gliss, Mario. Hey, what's up, man?
Another Mario.
We got to stick together, Mario. This is a rough world out here for us. I don't know if you know that, which I'm sure you do, being a Mario and all. It's tough. Yeah, Peloton is up, and I'm checking Spotify every day until I'm satisfied. Spotify is down $5.59 at the end of trading at 165.92. In fact, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 371 points at 35,462.78 shares in trading today. I'm sorry, this S&P 500 is up 37 points at 4,521. And there you are. Stocks are up today. Slow start to the week. Stocks went up exponentially today. Look at stocks go. We got to do the stock market thing maybe at the end of the half hour. Yeah, now think about it. That's a lot of trying to read stuff people don't understand, because I don't understand it, and I got a couple of stocks and some things. Lata Mangeshkar, passed away at the age of 92. If you don't know her name, you have absolutely heard her voice. She was the legendary Indian singer with a prolific, groundbreaking catalog and a voice recognized by more than 1 billion people in South Asia. She was 92 years old. The iconic singer died Sunday morning of multiple organ failure at Breach Candy Hospital in Mumbai. Her physician, Dr. Pratit Samdani told reporters she was hospitalized on January 11th after contracting COVID-19. She was taken off the ventilator after her condition improved in late January, but her health deteriorated on Saturday and she was put back on life support. There will be a state funeral. Prime Minister Narendra Modi flew in from New Delhi to pay his last respects. He laid a wreath next to her body wrapped in the Indian flag as thousands, including Bollywood stars and politicians, thronged Mumbai's iconic Shivaji Park, where she was cremated amid the chanting of Vedic hymns and a special gun salute. Um, Tributes from around the world for sure have been pouring in for her. And again, if you've ever watched one of the old school Bollywood movies, her voice is the voice. It is just absolutely the voice. It's time for a little bit of airline talk. And boy, oh boy, have we got it. Apparently, I started something yesterday talking about that megabus in the sky, stupid Spirit, and dumb Frontier. But if you're traveling, the coach passenger now is king. As the pandemic wanes, major carriers that traditionally make most of their money off premium business travel have shifted their attention to wooing vacationers. Meanwhile, discount carriers famous for selling cheap seats to popular destinations are beefing up their efforts to defend their turf. The winners, you, the consumer, itching to visit family and friends or explore the country after being stuck at home for 2 years. Here we are. What's driving this news? Spirit Airlines and Frontier Group are merging into a $2.9 billion deal that would create the fifth largest U.S. airline. The two carriers are known for their rock-bottom prices and no-frills service, not to mention consumer complaints about add-ons from everything, from reserved seats to carry-on baggage and snacks. They said in a statement that the deal would save $1 billion a year for consumers through lower prices and create America's most competitive, ultra-low fare airline. That's fair, but I am now going to ask the question, Mr. Gliss, if you could join me, sir. We're ranking the best and worst airlines in America in 2021. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Let me I gotta find it. Oh man. Here we go. Oh no. Give me a second. There's a box on my screen that will not move.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's weird. That's the second time today this has happened. It's like a black box just on my screen. All right, I'll try. At the bottom of the list is Allegiant Air. I've never flown on Allegiant, but they have stadiums named after them. Okay, let's see what else. This bit just died. I can't read any of them. Oh, wait a minute. I will be able to in a second.
I can try to get it on screen for you if you need
Shit.
to.
I just moved out of it to another one. Hold on a second. I just need to be able to see it because, again, what is the point? And here we are. No box interrupting me. The people where that report came from apparently don't like the fact that folks like to read. And there you are. So this is from the Points Guy. The best airlines of 2020. We'll do it that way. And this 2020 list is pretty good for 21 as well. I'm pretty sure of it. The worst of the best is Spirit. They're at number 10. The ninth best airline is Frontier. Can you believe? I don't believe that. Allegiant is 8. Hawaiian Airlines is 7. United Airlines is 6. Southwest is 5th. American Airlines is 4th. JetBlue. I know too many people that complain about JetBlue. JetBlue is 3rd. Alaska Airlines is 2nd, and Delta was 1. Okay, of those that you have flown on, which one would you say is Delta that good?
I like Delta. I'm going to be flying Delta on Sunday, and whenever I'm on the West Coast, I use Alaska Airlines because it's always convenient, quick if you're out here on the West Coast. Oregon, California, Nevada, all that stuff. I love Alaska Airlines, but Delta's up there for me as well. So I would agree with that list, at least the top two, and the fact that Spirit and Frontier are at the back.
That's amazing. I am big on Southwest Airlines.
I like Southwest.
I like Southwest a lot. You know what I want to do though, and I've never had the pleasure of doing it. I want to fly first class somewhere one day. I want to get on a plane.
I've done it once.
Class. Yeah, really? I've never done it. I like to get like business class and just like, be able to lay all the way down.
I did it once, and it was like one of those last minute things where it was like, we have an upgrade and there's not that many people on the flight. And it was the price was reasonable enough to upgrade where I was like, screw it. And I was by myself. So
yeah, of course. I would have done the same. I can see you though, like, hey kids, I'm gonna need the four of you to stay out here. Mom and dad are about to go in the first class. You'll grow up one day and you'll have the same thing happen to you. Bye, kids. Bye. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Some real quick ones before we go. If you are and just to close that up, we love Alaska Airlines and Southwest and Delta. And if they ever want to join in and, help us out, I don't know if that's the direction we're going in, but that's the direction I'm going in. Let's go, guys. I also have an affinity for electric cars. Thanks. If you own a Hyundai, a Kia, either one of those two cars, they're asking you to park your car outside because they can catch fire even if the engine is off. People everywhere are losing their minds. You mean to tell me that you should have gotten a recall if you own one of those? You can't park your car in your garage because it might catch on fire?
That's not ideal.
Cow, that is the worst news.
Hopefully none of the people in our chat have Hyundai. What is it, Hyundai?
A Hyundai or a Kia. Anybody in the chat that owns it, Curtis in Arkansas, Sarah in Pennsylvania, Mario in Texas, you guys are all new here. Thank you. Sarah, everyone is great before the nerds are dumb. I would have to get the context of what you meant, but I hear you. You guys, who owns a Kia or a Hyundai? Hands up, passengers, anybody? Anybody? Used to drive a Hyundai. I love those cars. Those cars are dope. They're the South Korean Lexus, if you will. Very.
I have a friend who just bought one, like a brand new one on Sunday, so I might have to text him.
I would say you better let your buddy know. Don't park that joint in your garage. It's gonna catch on fire. Can you imagine that? You come home, you're like, man, I've had such a long day at work. Let me park this bad boy. And you park it in your garage, and then you wake up and the fire department is at your house because your Hyundai or Kia caught on. Man, get it together. That'd be the last one of those I'd ever buy. But they're doing a recall. So maybe this works out good for them. All right. When we come back, we're going to have the community report. Among the stories that we're talking about, we will definitely talk about America's favorite superhero, Florida Man, because this is a good one. And then something that happened here in Chicago, where a man decided to get mad at an FBI agent. And don't ever tell an FBI agent there's no surveillance video when you commit a crime against an FBI agent. This is the best story of all time. We'll come back with all of that and more. It's The Drive with Mario Smith. It's 20 minutes in front of the hour. You're watching Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and listening on your Amazon-supported devices. We will be back. Welcome back. That's my new thing now. I'm going to look down and then I'm going to look up at you. Welcome back to The Drive with Mario Smith. I am him. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you to Neal for joining the stream. He's in Missouri. And Curtis is here from Arkansas. Thank you. Mario, Cole, J-Lo. J-Lo, how you doing, Jennifer Lopez? You good? Everything cool in New York? One of my guys is in New York right now. Everybody be cool. Nathan, and sometimes C is in Texas. Bella, Sunny, Verona, Deborah, Amanda, everybody, thanks so much for watching The Drive today. I'm in Chicago. My man Gliss is in Portland, Oregon. We appreciate all of you guys, every one of you. Tell your friends to get on board and join The Drive. And you can go to backchannel.tv and get in the chat with us. You can also leave your comment about the show there. I'm thinking, what would you say? Say something nice. Don't be mean. No one asked, but before I read the community report, and I know I got to do it quick. You know those little bottles of juice I drink? I got a very big bottle of it this time.
That is a big one.
This is a big one. This is a big one. This has been hiding out in my refrigerator, and I was like, I should probably drink this. And it's pomegranate juice. I try not to show the label. It's too late now. You saw it. It's
I think everybody's familiar with what that is.
It would be hard to describe this to someone that's never seen it before. See, there's this bottle that looks like a big 8, like a big old giant 8, or like it. Anyway, yeah. So,
and it kind of looks like it's filled with blood.
It does, which is horrifying.
That stuff's good though.
It's gonna.
Hey, J-Lo Rihanna joined us too.
Oh, shut up. What? I see. I see y'all. I see Rihanna.
J-Lo must you told them everybody to text their friends, let them know. So
J-Lo told Rihanna. Word. Can any of you guys tell Drake and Jay-Z to hop on? and Beyonce too? You know what would be funny? What if Riri is really like watching? What if it's let's just 2 seconds of having a little bit of fun. What if it was Rihanna? Okay, you go first, Gliss. What do you say to Rihanna? You better not come as Tom Brady takes it. If it was Rihanna, what would you say to Rihanna?
What would I say to Rihanna? I'd probably
that you won't get in trouble for later when your wife listens to this show if she's not listening already. Lindsay's not in the kitchen like this son of a.
Honestly, I've actually oddly enough had the opportunity to meet a lot of famous people before. I think I would just tell her that I think she's cool and I appreciate her work. I think it's the best approach when you're talking to, meeting someone that you admire from afar. Just be cool and just, let them know that you're a fan of their work.
I think the first thing I'd say was, how the hell did you find me here on Backchannel? And
that'd be a good question.
And then second, is there any chance before you have your child that you will come on the show and talk to me and Gliss? I mean, Rihanna. When I found out that news about her and A$AP Rocky, man, a piece of me was hurt. I mean, I've been following her career since she was a little kid. I'm just like, wow, she's. I mean, I'm aware that she's a grown woman, but it's like, wow, she's about to be somebody's mom. That's a big deal. That's a very beautiful, otherworldly kind of thing, right? And it's like, man, but that's Rihanna though. Yikes, Rihanna. Rose, thank you for joining as well. Rose is in Michigan. Rihanna's not telling us where she's from. It's J-Lo and Rihanna. I believe it. I'm sorry. I believe it, man. You can't tell me. Really quick, thank you again for everybody that's watching the show. We really, truly appreciate it. And again, I said it yesterday, I'm saying it again. It's hard to explain how much this means to us, particularly me and Gliss, and to everybody that's on Backchannel when we find out that folks are watching. And the benefit that we have is that we're able to talk to you while you're watching this. So feel free to get into the chat, please, and come back tomorrow. The suspect in Monday's deadly grocery store shooting in Washington has been arrested. Aaron Christopher Kelly, 39, was taken into custody without incident, the Richland police said earlier today. Police described Kelly as armed and dangerous, and identified him as the man they believe shot two people inside a Fred Meyer store yesterday morning, killing one person and injuring another. Kelly is scheduled to appear in court Tuesday afternoon, a Benton County Superior Court spokesperson said. He is charged with one count each of premeditated first degree murder and attempted first degree murder, according to charging documents. He was arrested on Interstate 90 between Sprague and Spokane, police said, more than 100 miles northeast of where the shooting took place in southern Washington. Bail on an arrest warrant for Kelly had been set at $1 million, Richland Police Commander John Schwarter said. Police identified the person who died in the shooting as Justin Krumba, 38. He was an Instacart shopper. The app CEO, Fiji Simo, confirmed to CNN on Tuesday. When Kelly entered the store, he was pushing a cart containing a duffel bag and a backpack, Richland's interim police chief, Bridget Clary, said during a news conference today. Shortly after arriving, he had a 10 to 15 second interaction with Krumba, produced a handgun, and fatally shot him, Clary said. Kelly and Krumba had a conversation before the shooting inside the store, but it was not known what was said, Richland Police Commander Chris Leach said. A store employee was injured in the shooting and remains in critical condition. Investigators said Tuesday Kelly had no link or relationship with either victim. That is bonkers. So he got mad at him and decided that he was going to just shoot him. Wow. Here in Chicago, families demand answers after two women die in police custody. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability here in Chicago is investigating the deaths of London Marquez and Irene Chavez, two women who died while in police custody over the past 2 months. Marquez, 31, died on January 27th while in the custody of 11th District Police, COPA said, while Chavez died after an attempted suicide on December 18th at the 3rd District Police Station. The cause and manner of death in both cases are still unknown, pending autopsy results. Members of Marquez's family gathered on Sunday outside Area 4 Police Headquarters where she died and urged the public for answers. Quote, she was someone who was loved. She has many siblings. She has a mom. She has a dad. You know, we need answers, her sister Tatoya Marquez told reporters. Quote, people saw her that same day being active. Nothing wrong with her walking around, close quote, she added. They also said that Marquez was 7 months pregnant with her first child at the time of her death. It's a cold city, and it's even colder what happened to my little sister, her brother Marquez told reporters. It's unclear why Marquez was put in custody. A spokesperson for COPA confirmed to ABC News on Monday that the Civilian Oversight Agency is investigating the case, including, quote, why she was arrested, close quote. The Chicago Police Department referred all questions regarding the case to COPA. COPA announced on January 29th that the agency is investigating an incident in which a civilian died in police custody. That person was later identified as Marquez. The cause and manner of her death remain unknown at this time. COPA is also investigating the death of Chavez, who died in the early hours of December 18th, 2021, following a medical emergency related to an attempted suicide. According to COPA, Chavez was in, quote, critical condition, close quote, when she was transported to the University of Chicago Hospital, where she died hours later. Chavez was arrested after being involved in an incident at the Jeffrey Pub Tavern hours before her death, COPA said, but the cause of death is still unknown. Iris Chavez's sister, Iris Chavez, Irene's sister, told reporters that police have not provided details surrounding her sister's death, and the family is demanding answers. Iris Chavez started a GoFundMe account to support the family in covering costs related to her sister's death and said that Irene was her only sister. These two stories are not going away. A spokesman for the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office told ABC News that an autopsy was performed on December 18th, 2021, and COPA was present, but the cause and manner of death are, quote, pending at this time, close quote. This is the second incident in Chicago in regards to our Black and brown community where they are arrested and brought in custody one way, but leave in a body bag. Rabbi Michael Ben Yosef of the Chicago Activist Coalition for Justice told reporters on Sunday. We'll keep an eye on those two. That is humongous. Here's something that happened in Chicago. Okay. Oh, brace yourself. I want you guys to hear what I'm saying. We talk slow. Glitch, you might want to jump on because this is good. A 55-year-old Chicago man is accused of spitting in the face of an FBI special agent, then saying, "Good luck proving it. There's no video." When an agent told him he had committed a federal crime right outside the FBI Chicago field office, according to a criminal complaint filed on Friday. Jerome Bykowski of the Kilbourne, and that's how you say his name, yes. Jerome Bykowski of the Kilbourne Park neighborhood was arrested and is being held at the Metro Correctional Center. He is facing federal charges of assaulting an FBI special agent after he tried to intimidate the agent, then spat in his face on January 12th. Bykowski's charges were unsealed Monday after his arrest, the date of which was not immediately known. Here we go. Just after 7 a.m. on January 12th, Bykowski was driving a white van and pulled in line behind the special agent, who was waiting in a car line on South Leavitt, which is on the west side of the FBI Chicago field office on Roosevelt Road. The agent was second in line, trying to enter the office's parking lot through a security gate, the complaint said. Bykowski began honking his horn repeatedly, so the agent opened the driver's door of his bureau-issued vehicle and told Bykowski to stop honking and to wait. Instead, Bykowski pulled his van next to the agent's vehicle, rolled down his passenger side window, and told the agent he was honking at the person in an SUV in front of the agent, not him, the complaint said. But after the agent refused to talk to the person, this is where it gets good. But after the agent refused to talk to the person in the SUV, Bykowski got angry and told him to just go inside and do your job. The agent told him to stop being aggressive and to get back in his van, the complaint said. Again, Bykowski didn't listen and instead drove his van alongside the SUV in the front of the line, got out of his driver's seat and walked back toward the agent, the complaint said. He then said, quote, "If you're such a tough guy, get out of the car and show me," close quote. Bars. He is out here just wilding already. There's more. The agent stayed in his car and told Bykowski to calm down. And according to the complaint, Bykowski called him a blank who's hiding behind your job and your car and afraid of getting your ass kicked. Bykowski then leaned toward the open driver's side window of the agent's vehicle and spat at him, hitting his cheek and forehead. The agent told Bykowski that he committed a crime, but Bykowski got back into his van and began backing up. The complaint said the agent got out of his vehicle and told him again that he was committing a crime. Bykowski said, "Good luck proving it. There's no video." Hey, Gliss, do you think there was video?
I think there probably was.
Well, the FBI, the SUV driver who was first in line was also an FBI agent who saw Bykowski lean in to spit at the other agent and then overheard him admit to spitting on the agent, the complaint said. The agent then took out his phone and snapped photos of Bykowski in his van and a picture of his rear license plate. Here's the other part of that. Surveillance video around the FBI headquarters, because after all, it's the freaking FBI. There's cameras everywhere. Caught everything on camera. Shout out to Jerome Bykowski. Stupid. He is the dumbest human being I've ever heard of in my life. How stupid do you have to be? I just wanted you to be here for that. That is one of the greatest things I've ever heard. You're not going to be able to prove it. I'll spit on you again. It's cool, man. Let me wipe this off. Let me make sure that camera's working. That camera's working. That one's working. The camera in my car is working. All the cameras are working. He works for the damn FBI. You think he doesn't know that there are cameras everywhere? Stop it, man. Also, Chicago is like the closed circuit television city outside of London, number 2, I think, in terms of closed circuit TV. Not all those cameras work, but there are a lot of cameras. All right, are you ready to talk about America's favorite superhero real quick, Florida man?
Always.
Oh, he's the best. A Florida man. Why don't they just start all these with Florida man like it does in the headline? A Florida man. Oh boy, there's news coming out in the sports world, Gliss, that is just hardcore. A Florida man says he jumped from a stolen car seconds before it was hit by a train and sent flying into a nearby home. The sleeping residents were unharmed, and the man was later arrested, authorities said. Police said the man claimed he stole the car in a, quote, good faith effort to search for his own vehicle after leaving a bar early Saturday in Martin County, around 50 miles north of West Palm Beach. Instead, he got stuck on the railroad tracks in the path of an oncoming train. After the crash, the man tried to steal a forklift from a nearby fruit stand. It's Florida, baby. Oh, which he also vandalized, the Martin County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. He was arrested after flagging down responding deputies, quote, to let them know he was still looking for his car, close quote, the statement said. The homeowners were fine, but, quote, the explosive sound of a driverless car smashing into the side of their home was clearly jolting, close quote, the Sheriff's Office said. The 35-year-old faces charges of grand theft and criminal mischief, and additional charges are expected. In describing the episode, the Sheriff's Office said, quote, no title could explain this case, but the details will. Well, it's just best to read on. That's it. That's the whole story. Florida man strikes again. I know we have folks that live in Florida. God bless you. I don't know how y'all are doing it. Godspeed. Renee and Susan have joined the chat. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. And everybody that's here with us today, all of you, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it. We're going to talk about the Academy Awards in a second. The nominations were made today. We're also going to talk about the Razzies. Ooh, there's a lot going on. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, there I am. I had a little trouble seeing myself there. Welcome back, everybody, to The Drive with Mario Smith. It's the top of the hour. We appreciate you all for being here. We are live in Chicago, Illinois. You are a passenger on The Drive. We appreciate your patronage. Thanks for joining us and being a part of today's program. Joining me in Portland, Oregon is my man, Jay Gliss. Welcome to hour number 2, Mr. Gliss.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir.
You too.
I'm acting like I haven't seen you all day. No,
that's part of the got to reset. It's like a new hour.
That's right. New adventure. There's sports news. I'm not going to go into it now, but I will. Bradley Beal is having season-ending surgery, which is big. And there's a huge trade in the NBA that doesn't involve the Chicago Bulls, which I'm not happy about. And Trevor Bauer, no charges. Be interesting to see where he ends up because nobody on the Dodgers wants it. The plot thickens with Trevor Bauer. But we'll get into all of that stuff in a little bit on sports. Right now, though, hooray for Hollywood! It's time for Have No Fear. The camera's here. Join us in the world of entertainment. I got to work on a better entertainment face than that. I did this out of context too. I'm sorry. The headlines: Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman, was rushed out of a high school this morning rather, in Washington D.C. He is fine. $3.5 billion of cryptocurrency was stolen and recovered by the feds. And in Canada, pandemic protesting anti-vaxxer truckers have been getting their fuel taken away from them by authorities in Ottawa. They're not playing around. So there's that. Okay. It's the Academy Awards nominations. Woke up to that news this morning. I don't know how they do that at 5-some in the morning in Los Angeles. That's crazy to me. It has never made sense that it's that early to do this. But there are some interesting movies in this list of things. We're just going to do the list of nominees because I think that's cool. Among them, Questlove is nominated for an Academy Award. That's what I'm talking about. I'm with it. So for Best Picture, the awards, by the way, are March 27th in Los Angeles. I am not up for any award. For Best Picture, Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, and The Power of the Dog. Also West Side Story. Steven, nobody saw that movie, but it's West Side Story. It can't be bad. For Best Actress, Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. That was a very good movie. Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter. Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers. Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos. Kirsten Stewart for Spencer. By the way, I believe he plays the keyboards for Radiohead, did the score for Spencer and a couple other movies that are on this list. For Best Actor, Will Smith for King Richard, Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth, Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. For Best Director, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, and Raizuki Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. The original screenplay awards nominations are Licorice Pizza, Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, and The Worst Person in the World. For an adapted screenplay, The Power of the Dog, The Lost Daughter, Coda, Dune, and Drive My Car. Best Supporting Actor and Actress. For Best Supporting Actor, Syrian Hines for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, and J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons, how about that? For Being the Ricardos. I love him too. That's my man. I'd love to meet him one day.
Yeah, I just the other night I've seen it in the past, but Whiplash.
Yes.
Well, I believe he won for that Best Supporting Actor or something that year. But that's a great movie.
He's that man. For Best Supporting Actress, Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, Anjuan Ellis for King Richard, and Dame Judi Dench. Get it right, AP, for Belfast. I will spare you those. I will spare you that. Best Original Song from King Richard, Be Alive, by Dixon and Beyonce. Dos Orgutas from Encanto, music and lyric by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Down to Joy from Belfast, music and lyric by Van Morrison. No Time to Die from No Time to Die, music and lyrics by Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas. Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days, music and lyric published by Diane Warren. Let me see here. Any others? I think that there's so many. We're gonna stop right there. And it's amazing. Visual effects. Don't Look Up was not nominated for a visual effects nomination. Also, snubbed was for Aretha. Oh my God, why can't I remember her name? Jennifer Hudson. And Lady Gaga for House of Gucci. Snubbed. They snubbed them. How dare them? Serena Williams super happy about the King Richard nomination. King Richard is about the Williams sisters and their dad, Richard Williams. Will Smith might end up winning this Academy Award for this one. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I've only seen 2 of the movies on that list so far. Or 3 movies, I think. Yeah.
You really want to see it, man.
It's on my list. I need to get to it. We've talked about it several times.
Yeah, this is something. Serena Williams said she's feeling so emotional after her family's biopic King Richard was nominated for 6 Academy Awards today. Quote, I woke up to this. Our film is really nominated for an Oscar, close quote, the 23-time Grand Slam singles champion wrote on Instagram alongside a photo from the film. King Richard received nominations for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and Best Original Song. Quote, this is crazy. From Compton to Wimbledon to Academy Awards, close quote. Williams added, quote, everyone can dream and your dream can come true. Okay, I am definitely crying this morning. Congrats to the entire film and crew. That's cool stuff, man. I really, really hope people see and get to see how good of an actor the best acting rapper is in Will Smith. Denzel Washington making news today as well by extending his record as the most Oscar-nominated Black actor of all time. This is his 10th Oscar nomination for The Tragedy of Macbeth. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm going to. And the only reason why I haven't seen it yet is when I was in high school, we had to watch Macbeth in English for us to get our final grade. When I tell you I have more respect for Macbeth, whoever performed, because that is a hard joint there, man. Macbeth is long and arduous and hard, very tough. And if he's knocking it out like that, I gotta see it. I gotta see it, and I will eventually. Have you? Are you familiar with the Razzie Awards?
I am.
Well, the 42nd Razzie nominations are out, buddy. These are for the movies that stink, not the movies that are good. They announced those on Monday, and they included a musical tribute to late Princess Diana, Jared Leto in House of Gucci, the movie Karen, and a special category for Bruce Willis. Why they messing with my boy? Netflix's Diana the Musical topped the list with 9 nominations, including Worst Picture, Worst Director, and all of the acting categories. It was followed by the thriller Karen, which scored 5 nominations. This year, a special category was added for Bruce Willis, a favorite of the Razzies. Worst performance by Bruce Willis in a 2020 movie highlights 8 of his roles. Wow. The Golden Raspberry Awards, the formal name for the Razzies, those nominations are decided by 1,128 voting members from 49 states and more than 24 foreign countries who cast their 2021 ballots online, selecting the 5 top contenders in each of the 9 categories. As per tradition, the winners will be announced on March 26th, which is the day before the Oscars. Worst Picture, we named those. Space Jam is one, A New Legacy. Did you and your kids watch the new Space Jam?
Yeah, we saw it.
What you think?
I thought it was fine. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have, Space Jam was part of my childhood. I did not have expectations that it was going to blow me away. It was what I expected it, and it was entertaining.
The best line in the first Space Jam is Michael Jordan going, "Hey, look, I just want to play basketball with all my friends." And he says it over and over and over. And listen, I just want to play basketball with all my friends.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, to be fair, the original Space Jam, is it a great movie? Probably not.
No,
is it?
Absolutely not.
No, that's where I heard a lot of people trashing this one and trashing LeBron and whatnot. And I'm like, Jordan wasn't a great actor in that movie. It was, it was like, it was special because of the premise of the movie. It wasn't necessarily a great movie. So
at that time, I needed Mike to get back to the west side of Chicago and get in shape. We need, it wasn't over for us then. It was still right in the middle of it. Like, hey, man, make movies some other time. Make movies when you retire. Be like Jim Brown. Make action movies.
There you go.
Or Dennis Rodman, make action movies in North Korea. The worst actor, Scott Eastwood for Dangerous, Ro Hartramp for Diana the Musical, LeBron James for Space Jam, A New Legacy, Ben Platt for Dear Evan Hansen, and Mark Wahlberg, who always looks like he's scared in movies now. He's always like he's about to beat somebody up, or like he's afraid in every movie. For Infinite, Amy Adams, Jenna DeWall, Megan Fox, Taryn Manning, and Ruby Rose are worst actress nominees. Yeah, here you go. So Bruce Willis, I didn't know any of these movies that came out. Worst performance by Bruce Willis in a 2021 movie: American Siege, Apex, Cosmic Sin, Deadlock, Fortress, Midnight in the Switchgrass, Out of Death, and Survive the Game. He's nominated for worst performance in every one of those movies.
That's not
unbelievable.
Cool.
No, not at all.
I love Bruce Willis.
Jared Leto and either his 17-pound latex face, his geeky clothes, or his ridiculous accent in House of Gucci. Tom and Jerry, aka Itchy and Scratchy, the Tom and Jerry movie. How dare you? Tom and Jerry, the movie is okay.
It's all right.
Hey man, they started out with Tribe Called Quest in that movie. I'm not mad at them. Okay, that's enough. The Razzies. I would love for them to see. That's the show I'd watch. If they put the Razzies on TV?
Yeah, is that on TV? I'd like to watch that too.
Oh, I would watch it. I'd watch it all day.
Just for reference, the number one most Razzies of all time was 10 by the Adam Sandler Jack and Jill in 2011.
That movie was so bad.
There's some other, Showgirls, Striptease, Battlefield Earth up there with some of the movies that have the most Razzies of all time.
Amazing. Hey man, Neil Young is not happy. You made one of the coolest dudes in Canada really upset. He urges Spotify workers to quit as Trump tells Joe Rogan to stop apologizing. Neil Young urged Spotify employees to quit their jobs in a fresh attack on the company over its decision to continue giving polarizing podcaster Joe Rogan a platform. In a statement published on his official website, Young, 76, said he hoped Spotify workers would, quote, get out of that place before it eats up your soul, close quote. And then he went into Cinnamon Girl. No, I'm joking. He did not. The message came as Spotify continues to face scrutiny over its support for Rogan, despite the podcaster's past comments spreading misinformation around the COVID-19 vaccine and his use of racist slurs on his show, The Joe Rogan Experience. Young, who made headlines last month after demanding Spotify remove his music over Rogan's past comments, told workers that the big problem with the streaming service was really its CEO, Daniel Ek. Quote, Ek pulls the strings. Get out of that place before it eats up your soul, Young said. The only goals stated by EK are about numbers, not art, not creativity. The Heart of Gold singer also urged musicians and other creators to, quote, find a better place than Spotify to be the home of your art, close quote. Young's comments came after Ek sent out a letter to Spotify workers on Sunday, apologizing for the controversy surrounding Rogan, but also defending the podcaster, saying he did not believe that silencing Joe was the answer. Man, that is a mess at Spotify. I had a discussion about Spotify on our podcast. I'll tell you after a second. Also, this is a related story to the Spotify debacle, if you will. Spotify's $100 million of diversity pledge is, quote, half-baked and amounts to a bribe, experts say. Spotify's pledge to commit $100 million to develop and market content for groups that have been historically marginalized is being seen as too vague and reactionary, and a clear example of a company being caught off guard despite numerous warning signs about the controversial host, according to experts. The move comes as the streaming service faces continued backlash over its support of podcast host Joe Rogan. It's clear that there was no appetite to get out in front of this issue. It's been very reactive, which sends the message that they would have rather not dealt with it now. And now the appearance of it is they're trying to buy goodwill, said Maurice Schweitzer, a professor at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business. The surprise, that is incorrect. I will change what they wrote. The thing that's surprising here is that the CEO didn't anticipate and clearly had no plan for reacting to controversy. On the one hand, he said to his employees, this is going to be an ongoing struggle as we diversify content, but he's clearly not prepared for it. The amount X pledged, $100 million, mirrors the amount Spotify paid Rogan to join its platform in 2020. It was announced in a memo first obtained by Axios and comes after multiple artists and podcast personalities pulled content from the platform in objection to Rogan's unchecked, offensive, and false comments. But Schweitzer and other experts criticized the pledge for not clearly defining who these marginalized creators are and how they will be supported. Quote, these type of half-baked measures are not going to cut it. I would rather see a specific policy because this is so ill-defined. You don't know who's going to benefit. They're trying to deflect the negative with what amounts to a bribe. Wow. That's a strong opinion. We had a conversation about if we were going to keep the podcast that I host that's housed on Spotify, if we were going to keep it on Spotify this morning. And we're still going back and forth on whether we're going to do it or not. I'm not a big hitter in the podcast world by any means. And me being on Spotify or not probably affects me way more than it does him, Daniel Ek or Joe Rogan. My position is more on the moral part of it as an artist, as a Black man, first and foremost, and then as an artist who has content on Spotify that's not just of a podcast. I feel like that 0.003% you're paying major artists, yet give people like me nothing, makes me not want to be on your platform anyway. Because why am I there? I'm wasting time and somebody's getting paid for these streams for this podcast that we're getting. Again, the podcast isn't Joe Rogan stratosphere, but it's a popular enough podcast where folks come back and listen. I feel like if we're going to do this and talk about Joe Rogan and talk about why it's important, not necessarily to cancel him, that's not going to help anything. He'll go to another platform and say whatever the hell he wants there too. It's the idea of companies when they make these agreements with people like Joe Rogan, like me, if you guys are content creators like you, that there's a conversation about what are you doing and your content. And it's just interesting to me that it took somebody to put out a video of just him on a loop, letting every human being have it, and being very nasty about his belief system before somebody said, this is enough, we have to stop Joe Rogan. and again, his audience was already built in. He brought those 11 million people with him to Spotify. Spotify recognized that as an opportunity to compensate him and to make a lot of money off of him. I promise you, if I'd have come to Backchannel.tv with 11 million viewers or listeners, our conversation would probably have been made markedly different, right? But I can't go off and call people out of their name, call you out for what you believe in and for what you embrace. It's your business. Our job on this program is to inform, and if we can, because my jokes are terrible, make you laugh and let you go to the crib feeling a little bit better about yourself when this day is over with. That's all we're trying to do. Would I like to make $100 million from Spotify? What do you think? Of course. Would I like to make $100 million in my lifetime? I've spent $100 million. I'm pretty sure of that. But we'll keep an eye on that story. It's profoundly interesting. We come back, we're going to talk sports, and we're going to say hi to our friends who are checking us out on the chat, and we'll do that real quick. Mohammed joined the chat. Hey, Tiffany, TT, Connor, Patrick, John, Natasha, Array, Lizzie, Renee, and everybody. John is in Oregon. Hey, Lizzie's in Georgia. You're a brand new person. Welcome to the program. It's your first time here. Hope you come back. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. We'll be back in a moment with Play Ball. It's the... Ooh, that sounded good, didn't it? Be back. Hey, hold on. Gliss, I'm stuck. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God. Oh, oh no. What is going on here? Oh, I almost killed myself just
What
now.
happened?
My cord got hooked up underneath my chair. Whew. That was close. You all almost you all almost oh wow. Okay, I just saw what you sent me. Welcome anyway, everybody. And yeah, the cord got my headphone cord got underneath my chair when I went to go grab my sports hat. Because we about to talk about sports, I wanted to make sure I had on a proper hat.
I like it. I like the color scheme.
Yeah, man. You know, every now and then, I mix it up a bit. Okay, this is breaking news that literally came across toward the top of the hour. Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer will not be criminally charged by Los Angeles prosecutors, the LA County District Attorney's Office said earlier today. The ruling concludes a 5-month review of the case, which stems from sexual assault allegations made against Bauer by a San Diego woman who sought a restraining order against him in June 2021. The district attorney's office reached its conclusion after reviewing evidence from the civil restraining order proceedings and all other physical evidence and concluding that it was unable to prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Bauer, who spent the final 3 months of the 2021 regular season on administrative leave, still faces potential discipline from Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred, who has the autonomy to hand out suspensions under the domestic violence policy that was previously agreed to alongside the MLB Players Association. In a statement, MLB said its investigation into Bauer is ongoing, and we will comment further at the appropriate time. A conclusion of the criminal investigation, more than 5 months after an LA judge dismissed the woman's request for a restraining order, could allow the league to interview Bauer, which would seemingly expedite the process. But the impending lockout amid ongoing negotiations with the MLBPA over a new collective bargaining agreement could complicate matters. The Dodgers, who owe Bauer upwards of $47 million in 2022, declined to comment and stated they would not do so until MLB concludes its investigation. That sounds like to me, he's got money coming to him, and they got to figure out a way to pay him. And if you're going to have this investigation, you got to get this together first, the labor dispute. So if there's a labor dispute and they're not talking, that could be something. Big trade in the NBA today as well. The Indiana Pacers and the Sacramento Kings. This is crazy to me that this happened. Okay. It's a 6-player deal between the Pacers and the Kings. It includes Domantas Sabonis, Tyrese Halliburton, Jeremy Lamb. The Pacers are including Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, Tyrese Halliburton in exchange for guard Halliburton, Buddy Hield, who's still a pretty decent player. I know he's so glad to be out of there. Good Lord. And center Tristan Thompson, a player that somebody like the Bulls could use. We'll get into that in a moment. The NBA trade deadline is 3 p.m. Thursday. The Kings paid a steep price, parting with Halliburton, the 12th overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft, who had been believed to be a cornerstone player for the franchise's future. The Kings' backcourt now revolves around point guard De'Aaron Fox and rookie Davion Mitchell. Halliburton averaged 14.3 points, 7.4 assists, and 3.9 rebounds, and 1.7 steals this season. He's tied for 6th in the league in steals per game and is 11th in assists. The Pacers are reshaping their roster with the trades of Sabonis and Karis LeVert this week, and Indiana now adds Halliburton to a revamped backcourt that includes Malcolm Brogdon and rookie Chris Duarte. The Pacers created a $6 million trade exemption in the deal. Amazing. And Portland made a move today too, yeah?
They did, yeah. There's been quite a few. It seems like it's hit that mark. There's less than 48 hours, and we're starting to see some action now. But yeah, the Blazers sent CJ McCollum, who's
Ooh.
been, Damian Lillard's sidekick and one of his best friends on the team for the last 8 seasons. CJ, I don't know, people. He's a great offensive player, and he's been a borderline all-star almost every single year he's been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people probably don't remember because when they think of the Blazers, they think of Damian Lillard. But that series a couple years ago against the Denver Nuggets,
Oh
they
yes.
had to go into a Game 7 in Denver, and Denver did everything they could to shut down Dame, and they did a pretty good job. And CJ McCollum took over that game and sent the Blazers to the Western Conference Finals that year. So I mean, he's a very beloved player in Portland, and they'll definitely miss him. But I think the Blazers are kind of resetting to try to build, a younger team around Dame. And that Pacers trade is a big one too. A lot of people in Portland love Domantas Sabonis because obviously his pops played here in the
Oh yes, he did.
the Jailblazers era with Rasheed and Scottie Pippen and all those guys. But yeah, there's some good players involved in that trade, and probably it's one of those trades. I think a lot of good players that needed kind of a change of scenery. So good luck to all those guys, but we'll see because I think it'll probably heat up even more over the next 24 hours or so going into the deadline on Thursday.
Another one of those players that was involved in that was Larry Nance Jr.
Yep.
And I was somebody I thought the Bulls might have had their eye on too. A bunch
He's
of
a good
teams.
player.
He's a great player, man, and he does something that a lot of guys don't want to do. He plays defense. He can score too when he wants to.
He does a little bit of everything. He's one of
Yeah.
those glue guys that you want, especially on a team like the Bulls that's trying to compete right now.
Yeah, that's having a hard
he's
time.
one of those guys you want coming off your bench right there.
Bulls got rocked so hard last night that they were losing by $1 billion and ended up losing only by 3. And people were like, they lost by 3. Yeah, they did good. No, they did not. They got kicked all over the West Side last night. It was bad. It was oh God, it was bad. The Olympic dashboard, if you will. These Olympics are starting to get to that point where it's like, okay, this is interesting. I'm beginning to like it. The medals count, though. Guess who's not winning? The U.S. is getting beat up. There's only got 5 medals total: 4 silver, no gold, 1 bronze. China, 3 gold medals, 2 silver, no bronze. Germany's got 5 medals: 3 gold, 2 silver, no bronze. Who else here? Norway has 8 medals. What's the ROC? It's not the Republic of what? They got 10 medals. It's got to be outdoor sports like winter stuff. Canada, shout out to Canada. 6 medals, 1 gold, 4 bronze, 1 silver. The Olympics are heating up, is what I said earlier. And you should get involved and watch the Olympics. There's a point of view video of this guy on a luge, and it's horrifying. I don't know how people could do it. It's super scary. Nathan Chen set a Winter Olympic record in day 4. U.S. figure skater Nathan Chen set a world record score at the Beijing Winter Olympics in men's short form today. Chen's score of 113.97 means he's well placed for gold. It was one of several highlights for Team USA on day 4 of the games as the U.S. added to its medal tally. Good day for Nathan Chen, no doubt. And so there'll be more tonight. Believe it, the Olympics is nowhere near over. This weekend, Sunday, will mark the first time that the Olympics and the Super Bowl are going at the same time. What are you going to watch? I'm watching the Super Bowl, even though I don't really want to. I'm whatever. Leslie Jones, former SNL star Leslie Jones, had been tweeting on social media, giving her commentary about the Olympics. And there was a bit of a misunderstanding. She's now free to do it again after she had pulled her tweets off of social media. NBC spokesman Greg Hughes said Monday that some of Jones's videos that were blocked were a result of a third-party error and not NBC. Quote, "We have resolved the situation. She is free to do her social media posts as she has done in the past," close quote, Hughes told the AP. Quote, she is a super fan of the Olympics and we are super fans of her, close quote. Jones took to social media Monday morning saying that she might give up live tweeting the Beijing Games. Quote, I love the athletes and they love me doing it, and I know y'all love it, but now it's just gotten too hard and no one is fighting for or with me. So I guess I'll leave it to the professionals, Jones wrote on Twitter and Instagram. Some of Jones's posts were blocked because of increased policing of taped video displayed by social media companies. In 2014, NBC agreed to a $7.75 billion deal with the International Olympic Committee for rights through 2032. NBC's highlights rights are the most stringent. Non-NBC affiliates are not allowed to run highlights until after NBC signs off for the night, which is usually 2:30 a.m. in New York. There are also limits as to how many minutes can be shown. Some of Jones's posts showing NBC coverage while she is commenting are nearly 1 minute long. And there you go. And I know that I posted something on Instagram the other day, Gliss, and it came from NBC Sports. I just reposted the link. There's a thing called repost where you can get the link, you copy it, and then you can put the exact post on there, but it has all the information about who it comes from, and got a nasty letter from Meta saying that my link violated copyright rights. And so I wrote an even nastier retort back, like, it came off of the NBC Sports site off of Instagram, which you own. Don't you still own Instagram? Question mark. And then as soon as I hit send, about maybe 2 minutes later, the post was back up. It happens every time too. If you post something from Instagram and it makes its way to Facebook, they're like, you're violating copyright. And I'm like, but it came from your site that you own. You dummy. How am I violating anything? Oh, God, people. I swear, you know what, man? Sharp stick to the face on some people moving forward. Major League Baseball players, Gliss, can stop drug testing during the lockout. Oh, that's the kind of news you want. Drug testing in Major League Baseball has stopped, the casualty of the sports lockout that started December 2nd. Testing for steroids was halted for the first time in nearly 20 years due to the expiration of the sports drug agreement between management and the Players Association. Two people familiar with the sports joint drug program told the Associated Press. The people spoke on condition of anonymity Monday because no public announcement had been made. When they negotiated the 2017-21 drug agreement, the sides included a provision that states, quote, the termination date and time of the program shall be 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on December 1st, 2021, close quote. That matched the expiration date of the 5-year labor contract. Quote, it should be a major concern. It should be, oh, good Lord. It should be stop it, shut up. It should be a major concern to all of those who want fair trade and the baseball players to be tested for drugs. I got to remember not to get another thing from that site again. That was my fault. Anyway, what do you think? They're not tested. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that should be something that they keep tabs on just in case.
Yeah.
You don't want things to get out of hand again and present another problem to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like drugs have ever had a issue in baseball. They've never done like steroids or amphetamines or anything like that. Never. Cocaine hasn't been a problem. You haven't had players actually doing drugs like in the locker room and then running out and playing. They aren't drinking. Come on, stop it. What do you mean? Get yourself together. Get your mind out of the place. You're fine. Amazing. Isn't this amazing? All of this, man. This world is insane. The Olympic press can grab high-tech naps. This is of interest to me because God knows I can't get a nap. With nowhere really to go, journalists inside the Beijing Olympics bubble are encouraged to sleep on the job. They can visit the village rooms where competitors are staying, but they can try out high-tech. Holy smoke. Speaking of tech, my tech just said nope. It is now showing me a speed skater. They can visit the village rooms where competitors are staying, but they can try out the high-tech beds athletes are sleeping in. Several corridors at the main media center are lined up with sleep rest cabins. And there's a pretty cool picture of the sleep rest cabins. They're small pods that open with a QR code. The beds can be adjusted by remote control and even have a zero gravity mode, meaning to reduce stress on the body. You don't quite float, but it's pretty comfortable. Some journalists nap in the cabins while others search in search of quiet and private, in search of a quiet and private place to write. Bring their computers. Um, Up to 30 to 40 people a day have been using them, and the manufacturer is Keeson Technology. Keeson Technology. And this is a report about Mike Tirico. Have you heard this?
No.
He's coming back from Beijing sooner than planned. His final show from Beijing will be on Monday night. He'll fly from China NBC Sports headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, to host Wednesdays and Thursdays shows before heading to Los Angeles on Friday to anchor the Olympic and Super Bowl coverage through Sunday. Tirico will then head back to Stamford for the final week of Olympic coverage. The games conclude on February 20th. Maria Taylor, who signed with him. That makes sense. He shouldn't have never left. Maria Taylor, who signed with NBC on the eve of last summer's Tokyo Olympics, will co-host Tuesday night show with NBC News' Craig Melvin while Tirico is flying back. Taylor will be in Connecticut while Melvin is in Beijing throughout the games. Tirico was originally scheduled to stay in Beijing through Thursday before going to Los Angeles. NBC officials, though, have reiterated that his schedule was subject to change based on COVID-19 and other factors. This is the first year that the Olympics and Super Bowl are taking place at the same time. 4 years ago, Tirico missed the Super Bowl as he was preparing for his first Olympics as primetime host in Pyeongchang. NBC has its announcers and hosts working out of its Connecticut headquarters. It is a limited group of reporters on the ground in China. Melbourne will host Prime Plus coverage, which is late night in New York, but prime time in Los Angeles over the weekend. How about that? Mike Tirico. Look at him. Just out here doing stuff. Bless his heart. Yeah. All right. That's it in sports. I've officially ended it. I can't though. Wait, hold on. There's got to be more, right? Are we missing something? Let's see. There's some stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. All right. Hold on. I'll be with you in a moment as I compile this list of woe here. We talked about Beal already. We talked about CJ McCollum. We have not talked about what is happening tonight in the NBA, as there are games tonight. The Sixers are playing this evening. But you know what ESPN is doing, Gliss? You'll love this. They're not okay. They're telling me now. Thank you. Jeez. The Sixers are playing the Raptors. The Celtics are going up against the Nets. The Nets got an issue. And the Sixers do too. They want to get rid of Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is like, I don't want to play. I'm done. I'm not trying to get traded, but I don't want to play with you. If I do get traded, trade me. It's confusing. James Harden is like, I don't want to leave, but I can't stay here because we're going to suck. We're not going to win anything. He came there under the pretense that they were going to win a championship this year. I don't see the Nets winning a championship this year.
Let him
at
keep
all.
ring chasing.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is it's not a guarantee to work out, you know?
Yeah, true. Not at all. Suns against the Sixers. I'm sorry, tonight. That's at 7 Eastern. The Rockets play the Pelicans. They won't have CJ McCollum for that game. I'm pretty sure of it. In New Orleans. And Celtics Nets, Celtics, Nets, Bucks, and Lakers. Who cares? I'm tired. Yeah. And then tomorrow night, it's pretty good games. The Bulls and the Hornets and the Warriors and the Jazz. And let's see here really quick. Oh, this is a question I've been wanting to ask you. Do you think, because on his podcast last night, Tom Brady did not really retire, you think he's setting himself up to come back?
I mean, the only thing about that, I think there's always a possibility, but my only thing is, it seems like he had a pretty good setup in Tampa Bay, unless there was something going on behind the scenes that he was unhappy with.
Could be,
but I don't know. I feel like he's probably done, but I mean, there is a scenario where maybe he sits out a year, He said he wanted to play till he's 45.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he comes back when he is 45, plays one more season.
He could.
Yeah,
I just think he's. I
probably could.
I don't think it's over yet. I think he was a little angry about the way the season ended. I think he may have prematurely said, "Yeah, I'm done." He didn't really say he was done. He kind of thanked everybody. I mean, and then last time on the podcast, asked directly, he was very vague. He's like answering but not answering. I got Brady coming back. I sure do.
I could see it. It would not surprise me.
I got Brady coming back, man. On our stream today, Anya has joined the stream. John, this is his first time on the show. Welcome, John. Jim, GYM, Jim. It's Jim's first time on the show. Jim is. I saw where Jim was from, but Jim left now, I think. Or Jim's not from where it said he was from. It said he's from South Carolina. Brian, Aisa, Dev, Joseph, Sharice. Thank you guys for joining the show. We appreciate that. And one of the things we like to do is give you little bitty facts that end up having big impact on your day. Because if you're at some like bar or something, you can say these things and talk about them, and people will be like, "What?" For example, I don't know where Gliss gets any of these from. I'm blaming him for it. A life-size doll on a Georgia trail in a national forest was mistaken for a deceased female. Jones County Sheriff's Office deputies initially responded to what was mistakenly believed to be a body located on a trail in a national forest. Upon arriving on the scene, deputies observed what happened to be the body of a deceased female, observed what appeared to be the body of a deceased female, but was actually a life-size doll, complete with accessories and a model number. The sheriff's office said in a Facebook post that the doll, now named Selena, that's odd, is a little under the weather, but y'all are talking about it's not real, it's a doll. But she has been having a nice day and is expected to make a full recovery.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about her.
I was too, I guess. A little bit more worried than I thought. 78% of the people in the world say that a clean car makes them feel like they have their life together. The world has around 200 countries and more than 7.5 billion people. Almost 3 out of 4 people wish they had enough money to hire someone to clean for them once a week. I need somebody to clean my house once a week.
Me too.
That would be awesome. Because, man, look, it's hard out here, buddy. Real quick on this day, today's birthday is John Grisham, the author of The Firm, The Client, and A Time to Kill, turned 67 today. Actor Seth Green from Austin Powers, Scott! Family Guy turned 48. And Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors turned 32. I didn't know he was that old, man. 32. He's getting to that part of his basketball career where he's going to figure it all out and be a menace. And he took a couple years off, not on purpose. Knees are probably going to be fine. He'll be playing for a while. And that's interesting. Check that out. We're going to come back with a story that will leave you in a pleasant mood. We'll probably give you some more of these wonderful statistics and more cool stuff. And I'll take this hat off. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon-supported devices. We'll be back. Got a little something for you that's breaking as well from the House of Representatives. Please forgive me for you seeing my entire bald head. The House of Representatives voted a few moments ago to pass a short term government funding bill to avert a shutdown at the end of the week. Funding is currently set to expire on February 18th, but the measure the House approved would extend funding through March 11th. How did we keep having a government shutdown? I am so confused. The story that I almost read during sports, I'm going to read now. It would have been a complete accident. And this, we hope, leaves you in a pleasant mood as you go on about your afternoon, evening. Elsa Desmond knows she's not going to medal at the Beijing Olympics. She wasn't even expecting to be in the top half of the field. Doesn't matter. The first women's luge Olympian from Ireland feels like she's already prevailed. Desmond won't be in China for long, with good reason. She's competed on Monday in the opening night of the women's luge event, returns to finish the race on Tuesday, then flies out Friday, and plans to return to work in Ireland on Saturday as a doctor who delayed parts of her internship to chase down a spot in the Olympics. Quote, as the founder of the modern Olympics said, it's not about who wins, it's about the fight to get there. And this has been my fight. I've given everything to get here, and I think everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone makes sacrifices in different ways and has different battles. Desmond wasn't far off in her citing of Pierre de Coubertin. His actual quote, at least according to the Olympic Library, was, quote, the important thing in life is not the triumph, but the fight. The essential thing is not to have won, but to have fought well. Although she won't triumph in Beijing, she's already obviously prevailed in some fights. She's been given myriad reasons why this quest was futile. She's too short. She didn't start sliding at a young enough age. Her medical career is too daunting. The biggest challenge simply might have been that Ireland didn't even have a luge federation, so she started one herself. And now, officially, she is a luge Olympian. She was the 26th sled to cross the line in the first run of the women's race on Monday night. At that point, she was in 26th place, faster than exactly none of the other finishers. Didn't matter. Her massive smile could have been seen through her Irish green visor, and her little fists punched the cold air in celebration. By night's end, out of the 34 sliders in the competition, she was 34th. Quote, I have another job. I have to self-fund. I have all these really visible challenges, close quote, Desmond said. But other people have challenges that we can't see. So I think mine, yes, is a very obvious challenge. But I think everyone's worked as hard as they can to be here. Her hospital not only gave her the time off, but they've become luge fans in a country where sliding sports aren't exactly overwhelmingly popular. Desmond is a doctor in general surgery at Ireland's Southend University Hospital. The hospital's chief medical officer, David Walker, said her co-workers are immensely proud of her. It will be exciting to see her compete thousands of miles away in front of millions of people across the world, Walker said. Desmond has somehow juggled two very demanding jobs, sliding a few months a year with starting a life in medicine. There was a time last season when she was going through some important final exams, taking one in Latvia and the other in Germany, in hotels where plenty of other sliders were staying. I had to stick signs on my door saying, do not disturb, examine progress in about 6 different languages, Desmond said. It was understood. Some sliders have even used Desmond as a medical resource from time to time, asking for advice on their various bumps, bruises, or worse. I try to say I'm not on duty, Desmond said. And not only did she make it to Beijing, she was given the honor of being selected as one of Ireland's 2 flag bearers for Friday's opening ceremony, along with freestyle skier Bubba Newby. They led their country's 6-person Olympic contingent during the parade of athletes. And I'm quoting her, I really was not expecting this, especially at my first Olympics, Desmond said. I don't think I can put into words how excited I am to lead out the team. I really hope that I make my country proud. Not sure how proud you made your country, but that's pretty dope. Look at you. Go get him sluging. Is it sluging? Luging. Go get him luging, doctor. Do your thing. That's a pretty cool story. How about that? A couple of quick facts before we disappear. And thank you all again for joining. Matter of fact, you know what? Hold on, facts. I was supposed to ask you guys a really dope question today in the chat. I'll have to do it tomorrow because I lost my question that I thought I had in my notes, but apparently I did not. I'll get to it tomorrow, though. You're going to get asked a nice question. Did you know that only 18% of people get out of the bed immediately when they wake up in the morning? A number I'm so proud not to be part of. I don't do that. I got to focus and make sure everything's still here. Not me here, like around me. Let's see, what else? What's the number one item left in hotel rooms? Liz, you already know.
Yep.
Yeah, the cell phone charger.
It's what I would leave behind. That's how I know.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you, a recent survey asked people, what is the most stressful thing you have ever experienced? Buying or selling a house was number one. You feel that way, Gliss?
I would say that's probably right there. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I have not bought or sold a house.
It's not a fun process, I will say that.
I've heard.
I'm not a fan of buying cars either.
That I've done, and that process sucks. I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Not at all. I don't like it. That's too much, and then they keep you in the car dealership like they're holding you hostage. And it's like, why are you keeping me here? I just want to buy the stupid car and leave. Here's the money.
Right.
But then they're like, and why is it? I've never understood why they keep you in there for like 2 hours to buy a car.
Yeah, like let's go. I'm gonna go run this by underwriting. I think we can get you a better deal. Blah blah blah. Like,
and look,
I already know what I came in here for. Let's just
go.
Let's just either do it or not. Like,
do you have keys I can use? Because I will drive the car around while you guys figure this out. Call me. I'll be at home. I'll come back.
Run my errands.
Yeah, 2 hours is ridiculous. What if you got kids with you? They're gonna be hungry. So now it's at an event. I might as well be going to watch a basketball game if I'm going to spend $200 to keep them quiet and full and to keep me quiet and full because I'm mad at this guy for keeping me in the car place for 2 freaking hours. Bang on the desk in anger. Andrea, Anya, John, Jim, Brian, Aisa, Dev, Joseph, Sharice, Cole in South Carolina, J-Lo, Nathan, and sometimes C, Bella, Sonny, John, again, who's new, who's in Georgia, Sonny in Indiana, Verona, Deborah McIntosh, Amanda, everybody watching. Thank you so much for being a part today of the drive. Gliss, thanks, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
You too.
Hi to Lindsay and Jack and everybody. Thanks for thanks for watching today on Backchannel.tv. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time with our full day of programming here on Backchannel.tv. As the sun sets in Chicago, Illinois, my name is Mario Smith. We appreciate you being passengers on the drive today for Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. We will see you tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. Until then,